you don't. If you get an abortion, it's a problem. If you're a young mother, it's a problem. So, okay, Maya, working so closly with the youth-based organization, what is the biggest concern from the youth? What are they saying, you know?
Well, as a disclaimer, this is what's just amazing about reproductive justice, right? Because you're not being narrowed in on one issue. So I go to a school or a group of young people and we talk about what's up in their community, and you know, you see that the things that are affecting them is lack of quality education, you know, your friend getting jumped, you know, too much teen pregnancy, you know, gang violence, not being able to get enough jobs, zero tolerance in the schools. And so there's tons of other social problems that are affecting them every single day. But when we look at it through reproductive justice, then, you know, we're focusing in on how do we solve this issue with taking in all these other parameters that, you know, surround someone, so that we're not just we're not doing bandage solutions, we're really trying to move this forward. So that's, you know, that's what I hear, and so that's why things, you know, projects come up, like the young people that we work with are trying to get condoms available in school, so they're coming up with groups on how to get that through with their high school. And we're still looking for young people to try to, you know, if you're in high school and you want to make a change in your high school, you think condoms should be available for young people, then, you know, that's one of the projects that we're doing. Or giving rights, you know, fighting for rights for young parents. We have a Young Parent Alliance who works to do that. We're doing work on STDs and HPV, you know, awareness campaigns, so that more people can know about this, and more people can know that, you know, hepatitis B is the STD that affects the Asian community the most, you know.
Really?
Yeah, and so it's really looking at you know, not just one aspect of, you know, there's a high rate of STDs, so we're going to do an awareness about it. But there's a high rate of STDs in this community, and we have to bring this community together to do something about it.
So, with that being said, I'm going to go to the overhead. If you're interested in any of the things that Maya was talking about, then go ahead.
So Enjouli, I'm interested, why are you committed to doing this work?
Well, that's a really good question, Maya. I'm basically committed to doing this work because it has everything to do with me. I am still in the age where I can reproduce, and I'm a woman, and, you know, I just think that I do this work because I need to do it, because there's not enough people in this movement that look like me, and so therefore we can't bring forth a greater change that needs to happen. You know, when I go into my communities and into different communities, it's just like no one is saying that, you know, we need to change the face of this movement. We need to really push this movement into, instead of it just being a white women's movement, a movement of women of color, and a movement of people that are actually affected by the injustices. And it's great that, you know, it's great that people want to help us. It's great that other people want to help us that are in the movement, that may have not experienced injustices, but it's even more impactful that people that do experience it, you know, have a say so. So with that being said, I'm going to go to the overhead. For anybody that wants to contact the Chicago Abortion Fund or have any questions about accessing abortion, or they may want to be in a leadership group or donate to the Chicago Abortion Fund, here's the information. So, Maya, I have I have the same question for you. Why are you committed to doing this work?
Well, I'm 19 years old right now. I graduated from Curie High School. I was raised in Gage Park on the south side, and when I was 15, just wanted to get together with other students in my school and want to do something about, the horrible sex education that we were getting. We were getting abstinence only until marriage, and it really didn't give us any information. And the information that it did give us was, working on, statistics that weren't true, or fear tactics. We felt it wasn't really preparing us for the real life and how to have a sexually healthy, to make sexually healthy choices. So we started doing stuff like, in our schools around that, and it led to something bigger around Chicago on getting a policy passed, and then that led to us trying to do work around the state of Illinois, and so it just got bigger and bigger and bigger, and the more bigger it got, the more you realize that reproductive justice and social justice is dealing with these bigger things. It's looking at things in this bigger way, and so I just felt at home. And with reproductive justice in particular, I have a strong sense of my history, and what and the women in my family and in the past, and realize the connections that I'm making and the work that I'm doing and how it's meaningful. From Puerto Rico to Chicago, it's trying to really keep what we're doing meaningful to us, and so that's why I just find myself so committed to this.
So, what do your friends say about you being so passionate about reproductive justice? How do they view you?
So it's everyone has friends that are down for the cause, let's say, or anything like that. But I do value their perspective just because it's an outsider's perspective. So we gotta know as a movement what we're saying, and if it sounds crazy or if it makes sense to us, and when we gotta break down the jargon and start talking real, because it just seems that we're trying to put things together and validating ourselves, but
it has to be
it has to be comprehensible to the people, because these are the people that we want to organize and work with. So I value the different perspective, even though we don't necessarily agree on everything.
Okay, we have a caller. Go ahead, caller.
Okay, I have a question.
Could you please turn your TV down?
Can you please turn your TV down a little bit?
Can you explain how it's important for young women of color to talk about their abortion experiences?
Yes.
Why is that important?
Okay. Thank you, caller. That is an excellent question. I'll go first, Maya, and then you can go next. It's very, very important for women of color to talk about their abortion experiences, because we are the ones that are so ashamed about it. We have been just taught and programmed to believe that there's something wrong with having an abortion. You should be ashamed if you had an abortion. You're a bad person if you had an abortion. And all of those are lies, and they're just not true. One out of every 3 women will have an abortion by the time they're 42. So with that fact being said, a lot of women are having an abortion. So are we all bad people? No. Situations come up, circumstances are not appropriate for having a child. There's so many different scenarios. So there's no reason to be ashamed about a choice that you made for your body. No one should be able to make you feel ashamed about it. It's your decision. It's your life.